Jackets. They lead it 7-3 here in the first set. Lauren Gardner on serve. It's played up to Willoughby. Quick hit and a point off the kill from Larissa Smith. It's a point for the Comets. They'll go on serve, and it'll be Jordan Hoffman, the 5'8" sophomore from Richwood, Ohio, going on serve. Rueda receives it. It's going out of bounds. Luciano tries to keep it alive. Runs right into the scorer's table, but cannot keep it alive for the Yellow Jackets to get a third hit. So it should be a point for the Comets. Brief delay in the proceedings as the official had a conversation with the scorer's table. Serve played from Gardner, now a free ball from Luciano. It's set up for a big hit and a kill for Larissa Smith. So Hoffman will stay on serve with a chance to tie this match at 7 points apiece. Her serve received by Rueda. Up to Zawadzki. Rueda has her hit blocked at the net. Now Luciano has a hit blocked. Rueda plays it up to Zawadzki. Luciano puts it down for the kill. The Yellow Jackets' lone senior, who was honored prior to today's match, comes up with the point for the Yellow Jackets. Jamie Snell will check in, and she will serve. Allison Weiner will take a seat for the Yellow Jackets. Snell's serve, played up to Hoffman, now to the outside, and Larissa Smith has it blocked. But it's blocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets, so it'll be a point for the Comets. Contras digs out to serve. Rueda with a hit. It's handled by the Comets. Over to Hoffman now from Ryan Bunyak. Her shot is played. Now Rueda hits it, trying to hug it to the sideline, and she pushed it just a little bit too far. Point for the Comets. So Furness with the serve. Rueda with an outside hit, and Furness can't keep it alive. It's a kill for Rueda and a point for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Rueda will go on serve. It's played by Rich. Up to Hoffman. Now over to Bunyak. And it is sent out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Comets to even things up at 9 apiece here in set number 1. Smith on serve for the Comets. A little break in the action as Sam Rueda addresses an untied shoelace. And now we're back to ready. Smith with a jumping right-hander played by Rueda. It's tight to the net, and it goes over. But it's an infraction against the Yellow Jackets. It's a point for the Comets. They lead at 10-9. Larissa Smith serve, received by Snell. It's set up for Simonson, and Simonson gets the kill to even things up at 10 apiece. Gardner will check out, and Malia Thurber will check back in for the Yellow Jackets. Isa Luciano will go on serve. And it's an ace for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano was the lone senior honored by the Yellow Jackets prior to today's match. She said she hopes to do a little bit of traveling after graduation before beginning her career as a teacher. Good luck to her in all of her future endeavors. Block at the net. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Comets. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Isa Luciano will stay on serve. He dribbles it 6 times, gives it a spin, and goes up with the jump serve. It's played by Furness up to Hoffman, hit over by Smith. The Yellow Jackets play it on a free ball. It's Simonson, and Simonson's going to get the point as 2 Comets converged on the ball at the same time. Neither one was able to elevate it to get it to a teammate for a hit over the net. Luciano back on serve for the Yellow Jackets. Jumping right-hander. Played by B-Runner up to Hoffman. Over to Bunyak, who hits it through a block. And that's a point for the Comets. Gardner comes back in for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano checks out. And coming on to serve is Reagan Willoughby for the Comets. It's received by Snell. Up to Zawadzki. Back row attack from Rueda. It's handled by the Comets. And through a block off of a flat foot, Haller puts it over and down for the point for the Comets. 13-12, Yellow Jackets lead it. Comets with a chance to tie on this point. And the ball hits into the net and falls on Capital side. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Olivia Zawadzki will serve. Snell will check out. Allison Weiner will check in. Zawadzki's serve played up to Willoughby, and it'll be a point awarded to the Yellow Jackets on an infraction against the Comets. Zawadzki with the jumping right-handed serve, and it's an ace for the team leader in aces. With that, 38th ace of the season. The point for the Yellow Jackets gives them a 3-point lead, 15-12. And Capital burns a timeout. While we have this break in the action, want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow, and Antonio's Pizzeria, Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. BW looking to end the regular season on a high note, coming off of Wednesday's straight sets victory over the Ohio Northern Polar Bears, their first victory over Ohio Northern since 2018. The Yellow Jackets improved to 12-11 overall, 3-5 in Ohio Athletic Conference play, and 3-2 at home. The Comets looking to get their lone conference victory of the season. They come in with an 8-17 overall record. They are 0-8 in Ohio Athletic Conference play and 3-5 away from home. The Yellow Jackets handle an outside hit from the Comets. Sent over to Simonson. She hits it out of bounds, but off of the block. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki will stay on serve. Jumping right-hander, played by Furness. Up to Willoughby. Back row attack from Haller. It's handled by Gardner. Thurber set up for a middle hit, and she sends it out of bounds. Point for the Comets. Sydney LaPointe checks back in. Perry Furness will check out for the Comets. And Lindsay Rich will be on serve. Chops at it one time, dribbles with both hands 4 times, and sends it over on the jump serve. Weiner misses the third hit, and the Yellow Jackets will give that point over to the Comets. Rich's serve received by Rueda. Gardner keeps it alive. Hit from Thurber. It's out of bounds off of the Comets. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Simonson will check out for Baldwin Wallace, and Paige Contras will check in. Contras will go on serve with an 18-14 lead here in set number 1. And it's handled by the back row up to Willoughby. And Willoughby's set is too much for LaPointe to handle, give her too much of an angle. And she tried to punch it over the net, but it fell short. So it's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Contras' serve handled by B-Runner up to Willoughby. Big swing from LaPointe played by the Yellow Jackets. Weiner has a shot, and she'll get the kill as it went through a block and down on Capital side of the court. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Contras stays on serve. Hits it over with the right hand. It's received by LaPointe up to Willoughby. Big swing and a point for the Comets off of the kill from Hamby. Larissa Smith will check back in. Hamby will check out for the Comets. On serve, it's Abby B-Runner. It's received by Contras up to Zawadzki. Outside hit from Rueda through a block and down. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets on Rueda's kill. Isa Luciano checks in for the Yellow Jackets. Malia Thurber will check out. And Lauren Gardner will go on serve. It's played up to Willoughby. Outside hit blocked by the Yellow Jackets. Capital keeps it alive. Willoughby sends it over to Haller. And the Yellow Jackets have it go out of bounds as Weiner had the cross behind the official to try and keep it alive. Point for the Comets. They trail 21-16 here in set number 1. Jordan Hoffman on serve. Rueda receives it. Contras hits it up. Now Rueda will play it over the net. The Comets keep it alive. Outside hit from LaPointe through a block, and it's a point for the Comets. Hoffman on serve. It's received by Rueda up to Luciano. Rueda with a roll shot played by the back row. Up to Hoffman. Outside hit on a tip. It's Bunyak. It's played by the Yellow Jackets. Rueda gets her shot blocked and put down for the Capital point. Substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Rueda will check out. Gabby Schlecht, the 5'11 freshman outside hitter from Naperville, Illinois, and North High School, will check in. Hoffman stays on serve. Received by Contras. Up to Zawadzki. Over to Weiner. It's played by the Comets. LaPointe winds up. Hits it over a block. Contras receives it. Now Weiner hits it off the net. It goes to Capital side. They keep it alive. Back row attack is sent out of bounds by Lindsay Richards. A point for the Yellow Jackets. And Jamie Snell will check back in. She'll go on serve. Dribbles it 7 times with the left hand, serves it up with the right. It's played by LaPointe. Up to Hoffman. Smith with the outside hit, handled by Contras. Tip at the net from Schlecht is played by the Comets. Quick tip attempt by Capital, handled by the Yellow Jackets. Schlecht with a tip, and it falls right in between 2 diving Comets for the Yellow Jacket point. Good to see B-Runner back up and moving, as there was a pretty good collision for the ball. Now we have a timeout on the floor from the Comets. So while we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria, Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Out of the timeout for the Comets, it's Bunyak, Smith, Rich, LaPointe, B-Runner, and Hoffman on the floor for the Comets. On the floor for the Yellow Jackets, it's Gardner, Luciano, Schleck, Snell, Contras, and Zawadzki. Snell will stay on serve. 23-18, Yellow Jackets lead here in set number 1. 2 points away from closing out this first set. Snell with the right-handed serve. It's played by B-Runner up to Hoffman. Tip at the net from Bunyak is sent out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. But after a brief discussion among the officials, the point was awarded to the Yellow Jackets. They go on set point now. And it's Snell's serve played up to LaPointe. Now Smith at the net. Gets it over. We have an infraction whistled against the Comets. And that'll bring the first set to a close as the Yellow Jackets win set number 1, 25-18. When we come back, we'll have second set action here from the Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Welcome back to Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. It's senior day here at Baldwin Wallace, and BW honored their lone senior, Isa Luciano, prior to today's match. And as a tip of the cap to all the work that Capital's 6 seniors put in, BW also made sure they were acknowledged. That was Perry Furness, Sydney LaPointe, Kaylee Hamby, Reagan Willoughby, Braden Mast, and Aubrey Margraf. They were each given a flower from one of the Yellow Jacket athletes. So tip of the cap to all 7 of the senior athletes that are playing in today's match for both sides. The team did switch up ends. Capital will go from right to left here in set number 2. The Yellow Jackets will go from left to right. Out of the in-between break, it's Luciano, Rueda, Weiner, Thurber, Contras, and Zawadzki on the floor for the Yellow Jackets. On the floor for the Comets, it's Rich, Haller, Hamby, Willoughby, Furness, and Larissa Smith. A little bit of a delay in the action. It looks like we're missing one of the officials. So you're going to have the table official signal in the sub for the Yellow Jackets, and it's Lauren Gardner replacing Malia Thurber. And coming on for the Comets is Abby B. Runner. Taking a look at first set statistics while we have this break in the action. Sydney Simonson led the way for the Yellow Jackets with 3 kills, 2 kills each for Allison Weiner, Malia Thurber, and Sam Rueda. 9 sets from Olivia Zawadzki. Lisa Luciano had 1 kill and 1 set assist. She also had a service ace, 1 of 4 for the Yellow Jackets. Paige Contras, Olivia Zawadzki, and Lauren Gardner each had 1 each. Gardner led the way with 7 digs. And with a team-high 3 points in that first set, it was Sydney Simonson. Leading the way for the Comets, 3 kills each for Alyssa Haller, Kaylee Hamby, and Larissa Smith. 2 for Ryan Bunyak, and 1 for Sydney LaPointe. 6 set assists for Reagan Willoughby, and 5 for Jordan Hoffman. 1 service ace, and it came from Hoffman. It was Larissa Smith leading the way with 3.5 points in that first set. The Yellow Jackets hit the ball through a block after Capital opens on serve, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Comets. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Jamie Snell will serve it up for BW. And she puts it into the net. That'll even things at 1 apiece here in set number 2. The Yellow Jackets with a 1-set lead as Lindsay Rich, the 5'9" junior outside hitter from Centerville and Archbishop Alter High School, goes on serve for the Comets. Received by Snell, goes right over the net. Block at the net. Capital handles it. They send it over in a free ball, and it's down for the point. Reagan Willoughby with the point for the Comets. Willoughby with just 15 kills on the season coming into today's match. Very excited with that point, as well she should be. Willoughby with a set for Hamby. It's blocked at the net. The Yellow Jackets come up with another block of Sydney LaPointe. LaPointe with a tip, handled by Rueda. It goes all the way over the net, and it's played by the Comets. Willoughby serves it up, and it is down off of one hit, inbounds from Lauren Gardner. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Gardner with a dive to try and keep the ball alive. It floated over the net and landed right on the line to even things up at 2 here in set number 2. Sam Rueda on serve for the Yellow Jackets. It's played by B Runner up to Willoughby. LaPointe with a big swing, handled by Rueda. Now it's played at the net, kept alive by a diving Jamie Snell over to Simonson. Handled by the Comets, tight to the net was Willoughby's set, and the Comets couldn't get a third hit over. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Rueda on serve, and it's dug out by B Runner. Tipped down for the point by Isa Luciano. Rueda with the serve. Received by LaPointe. Over to B Runner, back to LaPointe. It's dug out by Rueda, up to Zawadzki. Over to Simonson with a tip, and it goes through a block, but kept alive by the Comets. Now LaPointe misses on the tip, and it's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Rueda with the serve, played by LaPointe up to Willoughby. Quick set for Hamby, and it's down for the point and the kill for the Comets. Smith back for Capital. B Runner will go on serve. Capital trails 5-3 here in set number 2. And serve goes out of bounds, point for the Yellow Jackets. B-runner trying to hug the sideline, hugged it a little bit too much with that serve. It was just wide of the line. Luciano goes on serve. And it hits the net and is a service error. Point for the Comets. Jordan Hoffman will check in. Reagan Willoughby will check out. Hoffman with a jumping right-hander played by Rueda up to Zawadzki. Swing from Thurber, gets it over. Capel returns it over the net. Now Zawadzki sets up Simonson for a hit, and it's played in the back row. But after the first hit from Rich, Hoffman couldn't track it down and keep it alive. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Olivia Zawadzki will go on serve. Jamie Snell will check out. Lauren Gardner back for the Yellow Jackets. Serve played right toward the net. Thurber challenges at the net, and it's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki with the serve, played by LaPointe. Up to Hoffman. LaPointe with the right hand is dug out by Rueda. Zawadzki sets up Thurber, and she clobbers it a little bit too much and sends it out of bounds. Perry Furness on serve. It's received by Simonson up to Zawadzki. Simonson with a hit. It's blocked but kept alive by Thurber. Zawadzki sets up Simonson again. She tips it through a block. And it'll be played over by Rich on a free ball. Over to Rueda, up to Zawadzki. Weiner's third hit. Didn't have much of an angle on it as that was really close to the net, and she could not get the ball over. Point for the Comets. They trail 8-6 now. Furness on serve. It's handled by Rueda. Tipped down by the Comets off of the deflection. Lindsay Rich will get credit with the kill for the Comets. Jumping right-hander played by Gardner. Up to Zawadzki. Over to Simonson on the right side. She sends it over. Capitals B runner will set it up for an outside hit from Bunyak. That's handled by the Yellow Jackets. Weiner has her shot blocked at the net, and it's down for a Capital point. That'll even things up at 8 each here in set number 2. Furness has it hit the net and drop on BW's side for a point. They now take a 9-8 lead here in set number 2, and with that, Christina Foltz called a timeout to help regroup for the Yellow Jackets. And while we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria, Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Out of the timeout, it's Weiner, Thurber, Simonson, Rueda, Zawadzki, and Gardner on the floor for the Yellow Jackets. On the floor for the Comets, it's Hoffman, Rich, Bunyak, Smith, B-Runner, and Furness, who will be on serve. Furness with the jumping right-hander, received by Rueda, up to Zawadzki, over to Simonson, and it's blocked down for a Capital point. Furness's serve received by Thurber. Now gets sent over to Simonson. She hits it over a block attempt. B runner keeps it alive on hit number 2. Rich sends it to the back row where Gardner digs it out over to Rueda on a roll shot handled by the Comets. And it's Furness getting it over on the third hit. Thurber sets up Weiner, and again, Weiner not with much of an angle on it, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Weiner. Gabby Schlecht will check in. Sydney Simonson will check out for the Yellow Jackets. Furness's serve played up to Zawadzki, over to Schlecht, and she puts it down for the kill. That breaks a 6-point run for the Comets and puts the Yellow Jackets back within 2. They trail 11-9 here in set number 2. Gabby Schlecht will go on serve. Schlecht with the jumping right-hander played by Furness in the back row. It gets sent up for Rich, and she puts it down for the Comet kill. B runner will check out for the Comets, and Kaylee Hamby will check in. Larissa Smith goes on serve. It's received by Gardner. Up to Zawadzki, over to Weiner. Weiner hits it through a block and down for the kill. Issa Luciano back for the Yellow Jackets. Abby B. Runner checks back in to the match for the Comets. Lauren Gardner goes on serve. She puts it over with the right hand. It's received by Furness. Now back row attack handled by Zawadzki. Up to Gardner. Over to Rueda, and she puts it down for the Yellow Jacket kill. Gardner stays on serve with a chance to tie things up here in set number 2. Yellow Jackets trail 12-11. It's handled by Furness in the back row. Over to Hoffman. Rich sends it over. Zawadzki sets it up for Luciano. Soft tip. Handled by the Comets. They'll send it over on a free ball from Furness. Gardner will handle it up to Zawadzki. Luciano hits it over. It's played by B Runner. Up to Hoffman, over to Rich. Off a deflection, out of bounds. It's a point for the Comets. Haller and Reagan Willoughby will check back in. Willoughby will go on serve for the Comets. They lead at 13-11 here in set number 2. Serve played by Schlecht. Up to Zawadzki. Over to Weiner. She hits it down through a block for a point. Jamie Snell will check in for Weiner. And Snell will go on serve. She hits it over with the right hand. It's played by Furness. Up to Willoughby. Off her back foot. It's Haller sending it out of bounds. Point for the Yellow Jackets. That'll even things up at 13 here in the second set. Snell's serve received by Furness. Up to Willoughby. Rich with a kill as it goes out of bounds off the Yellow Jackets. LaPointe checks in, as does Michaela Recker. Furness and Rich check out for the Comets, and it'll be Recker going on serve. Received by Gardner. Up to Zawadzki. Over to Rueda. Roll shot. Dug out by LaPointe. Over to Willoughby. Big swing and a point for Haller. It's a point for the Comets. They lead at 15-13 here in the second set. And Recker still on serve. It's hit over to Rueda, and she puts it down for the Yellow Jacket kill. Rueda on serve. It's played back row up to Willoughby. Her set is very tight to the net, but it's sent over. The Yellow Jackets handle it. Now Schlecht comes up, and B Runner keeps it alive. Up to Willoughby, now to LaPointe, and LaPointe sends it out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. evening things up at 15 here in the second set. Ruetta on serve. It's played by Recker. Up to Willoughby. Over to LaPointe. Tip is dug out by Jamie Snell. Zawadzki finds a gap and puts it down for the Yellow Jacket kill. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Sam Ruetta with the serve, and it's kept alive by Recker. Sent over and down for the point by Hamby. Soft touch at the net gets the Comets back even at 16 here in the second set. Abby B-Runner will check back in, and she'll go on serve for the Comets. It's received by Ruetta. Up to Zawadzki. Over to Schlecht. Schlecht has it blocked at the net but keeps it alive. Now Zawadzki sets up Schlecht again. She tips it over this time. It's played by Willoughby. Back row from Recker. Dug out by Ruetta. Up to Zawadzki. Luciano has a hit blocked at the net. Snell keeps it alive. Quick tip from Zawadzki. Is handled by the Comets and sent over. And that's a miscommunication by the Yellow Jackets. Gives the Comets a point. They take a 17-16 lead here in the second set. And the serve is sent out of bounds to point for Baldwin Wallace. Isa Luciano will go on serve with things even at 17 each here in the second set. It's played by B-Runner. Tip at the net by Schlecht. It's down for the Yellow Jacket point. Luciano stays on serve with the Yellow Jackets in front, 18-17. Jumping right-hander, played by Recker. Up to Willoughby. Over to Holler, and she has it blocked down for a point. It's Malia Thurber with the point. And with that, we have a timeout on the floor. It's Capital taking a timeout. They trail 19-17. Here in the second set, where we have this break in the action. Want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider, and Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University, as well as Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics, Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow, and Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. On the floor, out of the timeout for the Comets, it's Recker, B-Runner, Haller, Willoughby, Smith, and LaPointe on the floor for the Yellow Jackets out of the timeout. Snell, Zawadzki, Thurber, Schlecht, Ruetta, and Luciano. Luciano's jumping serve, received by B-Runner. Set up for Haller, and she sends it out of bounds to point for the Yellow Jackets. They lead it 20-17 here in the second set. They're already up 1-0. Luciano with the serve, received by B-Runner. Over to Haller, now to LaPointe, and Snell keeps it alive with a dive to her right. Schlecht sends it over on a free ball on the third hit. Willoughby sets up Larissa Smith. Zawadzki keeps it alive with a dive. Now Schlecht with a hit, puts it to the back row, and it's going to go out of bounds off a B-Runner. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Schlecht gets credit with the point, but Snell and Zawadzki each with digs kept that point alive for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano stays on serve. Jumping right-hander, played over. B-Runner now to the front row. It goes to Willoughby, who sent it to Smith. Her hit sent back over on one shot. Now a block at the net for the Yellow Jackets. It's a point. And Olivia Zawadzki will get the credit for the block. Luciano with the serve. It's received by Haller, and it's tight to the net. Thurber with a hit, and Thurber is going to earn a point for the Yellow Jackets. 23-17. The Yellow Jackets in front here in the second set, and Capitals' Rosanna Zagura has seen enough to call a timeout. And while we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dane Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leader since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Haller, Smith, Willoughby, LaPointe, Recker, and B-Runner on the floor for the Comets out of the timeout. Snell, Zawadzki, Schlecht, Thurber, Rueda, and Luciano on the floor for the Yellow Jackets. It's Luciano who will stay on serve. Serves it up with the right hand. B-Runner on the reception. Up to Willoughby. Big swing from Smith. Dive. Kept alive by Snell. Schlecht sends it over the net. It's played by the Comets. Haller with a big hit. Snell again with the dig. Up to Zawadzki. Over to Schlecht. She hits it through a block. Capital keeps it alive. Haller with a tip. Snell with a dive again. Another dig. Zawadzki sends it over on the tip. It's kept alive by the Comets. Back row attack from Recker. Snell with a fourth dig. Up to Rueda, now to Schlecht. It's handled by the Comets. Willoughby will set it for LaPointe. LaPointe has it blocked. It's down for a Yellow Jacket point. Jamie Snell coming up with multiple digs on that point to put the Yellow Jackets on set point. What a play from the freshman from Strongsville. Luciano with the serve. It's received by B-Runner up to Willoughby. Smith with a quick hit, and it's down for the Comet point. They trail 24-18 here in the second set. Checking in to go on serve, it's Jordan Hoffman. Hoffman's right-hander played by Snell. Up to Zawadzki to Thurber, and it's kept alive by a diving B-Runner. Set up again for Thurber, and again B-Runner to keep it alive. Hoffman with the set, and it's played across the net by Bunyak. Now Schlecht with a hit for the Yellow Jackets over the net. Smith with a hit, and it's going to be an infraction against the Comets as a point. It's set point for the Yellow Jackets. They claim victory in the second set, 25-18. We'll switch up sides, and after this short break, we'll be back with third set action here from Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Thanks for listening on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to the Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Out of the in-between set break, we have Simonson, Weiner, Zawadzki, Rueda, Luciano, and Gardner on the floor for the Yellow Jackets. Let's take a look at the match statistics with 4 kills each. It's Allison Weiner, Sydney Simonson, and Malia Thurber, as well as Sam Rueda leading the way for the Yellow Jackets. 3 each to Isa Luciano and Gabby Schlecht, and 1 for Lauren Gardner. Zawadzki leads the way with 15 set assists. Gardner has 2, 1 each to Jamie Snell, Isa Luciano, and Sam Rueda. 1 service ace each for Gardner, Zawadzki, Luciano, and Paige Contras. And leading the way in digs, it's Lauren Gardner with 9, and hot on her trail is Jamie Snell, who had 4 in 1 play late in that second set. She has 9 for the match. Leading the way for the Comets with 5 kills each, it's Kaylee Hamby and Larissa Smith. 4 each for Lindsay Rich and Alyssa Holler. 2 for Ryan Bunyak, and 1 each for Sydney LaPointe and Reagan Willoughby. Willoughby leads the way with 11 set assists, while Jordan Hoffman has added 7. 2 service aces for the Comets, Perry Furness and Jordan Hoffman with those. And then leading the way in digs with 15, it's defensive specialist Abby B-Runner. Zawadzki will go on serve when we resume play rather. Received by Furness, sent over to Rich. She puts it over the net, dug out by Gardner, over to Weiner. Furness keeps it alive, over to Rich. Now a hit from Willoughby, sends it over. Back row attack from Rueda, and it's down, out of bounds, off of the Comets. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki with the serve. Furness receives it. Willoughby hits it the wrong way. Furness trying to keep it alive. It's not going to make it to the net. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki with the jumping right-hander, played by Furness. Up to Willoughby, over to Rich. Rich on the roll shot, gets it over. Rueda digs it out. Up to Zawadzki. Thurber with the hit over. Willoughby trying to keep it alive. She and Haller were both going for it. Willoughby didn't get enough on it to keep it alive, trying to avoid a crash into the scorer's table, which she was able to, fortunately for her. The Yellow Jackets with the serve. Sent over by Zawadzki. Big hit from Rich. Handled by Zawadzki. Over to Weiner, and Weiner puts it down for the kill. Yellow Jackets starting strong here in the third set. They lead it 4-0. Zawadzki serve, received from Holler, up to Willoughby, and it's put down for the capital point by Kaylee Hamby. Lindsay Rich will go on serve for the Comets. It's received by Simonson, over to Gardner. Simonson sends it over, dug out by B-Runner, up to Willoughby, over to Hamby. She tips it over, and Lauren Gardner can't reach it to get enough on it and keep it alive. It's out of bounds off the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Comets. Rich's serve received by Simonson, over to Gardner. Weiner with a hit, and Weiner sends it in the Capitals bench. Point for the Comets. 4-3. BW's lead down to 1 here in the third set. Rich with the serve over. It's played over to Weiner. She tips it over. Hamby keeps it alive up to Willoughby. Hamby with a swing. It's blocked by the Yellow Jackets. Out of bounds off of the Comets. Point for BW. Paige Contras will check in. Sydney Simonson will check out. Contras will go on serve. Played by Rich in the back row up to Willoughby. Over to Haller, and it's blocked down for the Yellow Jacket point. Contras with the serve. It goes into the net. It's point for the Comets. They trail 6-4 here in the second set, or the third set rather, and Abby B. Runner will go on serve. It's received by Contras, up to Zawadzki, over to Weiner. Weiner puts it down for the kill. Lauren Gardner will serve. Isa Luciano will check in to the match. Malia Thurber will check out. Serve received by the Comets, and Larissa Smith will get a kill for the Comets. Jordan Hoffman will check in to go on serve. It's received by Rueda, up to Zawadzki. Weiner has a shot, hits a shot through a block, and Capital can't keep it alive. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Weiner checks out. Jamie Snell checks in, and she goes on serve for the Yellow Jackets. The right-handed serve played by Rich, up to Hoffman, tipped over by the point, dug out by Gardner, tipped down for the point. It's a kill for Olivia Zawadzki. Snell with the service ace as it's mishandled by Rich. Snell stays on serve. Yellow Jackets with a 10-5 lead here in the third set. Big swing and a point for Ryan Bunyak as it goes out of bounds off of a deflection. Perry Furness will check back into the match, and she will go on serve for the Comets. Jumping right-hander received by Snell, up to Zawadzki, over to Rueda. Rueda has her shot blocked down for a Capital point. Furness with the serve. It's received by Snell, up to Zawadzki. Tip at the net, and it's down for a point. Isa Luciano puts it down. Simonson checks in. Contras will check out for the Yellow Jackets. And Sam Rueda will go on serve. Rueda's serve dug out by Furness, up to Hoffman, over to Rich. Dug out by Gardner, up to Zawadzki. Back row attack from Rueda. Furness keeps it alive, but it goes into the net, and it's not played by another Comet. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. Rueda's serve tips off the net, kept alive by Furness. Smith with a tip at the net, dug out by Snell. Over to Simonson. She hits it through a block. It's kept alive by B. Runner. Over to Rich. It's blocked down by the Yellow Jackets. Rich keeps it alive. Smith now with the hit. It's dug out by Snell, sent over to Simonson. She tips it over. It's played now to B. Runner, over to Rich. Rich hits it through a block. Gardner keeps it alive. Over to Zawadzki. Big swing from Luciano, but it hits into the net and falls on BW's side. It's a point for the Comets. Larissa Smith will go on serve for Capital. She sends it over. It's received by Snell, up to Zawadzki. Back row attack from Rueda, handled by Hoffman. Now sent over by Bunyak, but she sends it out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. They lead at 13-8 here in the third set with Isa Luciano going on serve. It's played by Furness, up to Hoffman, and it goes out of bounds before the Comets can get a third hit on the ball. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Luciano stays on serve. It's played by Furness over to Rich, and it's sent over on the third hit on a free ball. Now Simonson with a tip, and Simonson with the kill. She found a gap between Furness and Abby B. Runner and puts it down for the point. BW with a 15-8 lead here in the third set. They're up 2-0, and Capital will call a timeout. And while we have this break in the action, I want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes, and Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Today's Yellow Jacket women's volleyball match is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria, Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Out of the timeout for the Yellow Jackets, it's Simonson, Rueda, Luciano who will be on serve. Snell, Thurber, and Zawadzki on the floor for the Comets. It's B-Runner, Furness, Hamby, Rich, Hoffman, and Bunyak. Luciano with the serve. It's played by Furness up to Hoffman, over to Rich. Rich has it blocked, sends it right back at the Yellow Jackets. Rueda with the hit. Over to Thurber, and her hit is handled by B-Runner. Tip at the net by Hamby, kept alive by Zawadzki. Over to Snell. It's a tip over by Simonson. It's played now by Furness, sent over on a free ball from B-Runner. Zawadzki sets up Simonson. B-Runner digs it out. Up to Hoffman. Big hit from Bunyak, and it's a point for the Comets. Reagan Willoughby and Alyssa Haller check back in for the Comets, and Willoughby will go on serve. Jumping right-hander received by Snell, over to Zawadzki. Back row attack from Rueda, and it's down for the Yellow Jacket kill. Snell checks out. Weiner checks in for the Yellow Jackets. Zawadzki on serve. And it's sent right back over by Furness. Gardner sets up Weiner. Weiner, a little bit too long on the hit. It's out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Point for the Comets. Checking in and seeing her first action today for the Yellow Jackets. 5'10 sophomore middle hitter from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Upper St. Clair High School. Number 11, Alyssa Sagi. Michaela Recker checks in to the match for the Comets. She goes on serve. Weiner with a hit through a block. It's kept alive by B-Runner up to Willoughby. Over to Haller, and she sends it out of bounds. It's a point for the Yellow Jackets. They lead at 17-10 here in the third set with Paige Contras going on serve. It's received by Recker, but it goes out of bounds. It's an ace for Paige Contras. Conscious with the serve. Again, it's an ace as Recker can't receive it and set up a teammate. And Contras playing that left side of the court a little bit too much there, and it goes out of bounds. Wide of the line, point for the Comets. Abby B. runner on serve. It's received by Contras, but mishandled it, and Zawadzki couldn't get underneath it enough to elevate it. Falls to the court for a Comet point. B. runner with the right-handed serve, received by Contras up to Zawadzki. Weiner sends it over. It's kept alive by Recker, and then B. runner sent over on a free ball by Willoughby. Now Weiner comes up with a hit, and Weiner gets the kill for the Yellow Jackets. EW with a 20-12 lead here in the third set with Lauren Gardner going on serve. It's received by Haller, tipped over the net by Willoughby, and it's going to be a point for the Yellow Jackets. Gardner stays on serve. Gets it over with the right hand. It's received by Haller. Now set up for Smith. Dug out by Contras, up to Zawadzki, over to Weiner, and Weiner sends it out of bounds. Point for the Comets. Jordan Hoffman and Ryan Bunyak will check back in for the Comets, and it will be Hoffman going on serve. Hoffman serve received by Contras, up to Zawadzki, over to Rueda on the left side. Dug out by Recker, up to Hoffman. Now big hit through a block by Bunyak, kept alive by the Yellow Jackets. Luciano has a hit blocked. It's kept alive by a diving Zawadzki, sent over on a free ball. Hoffman sets up Smith. Zawadzki keeps it alive again, and it is finally put down for a capital point. Hoffman stays on serve. And it's received by Contras, up to Zawadzki, over to Rueda. Roll shot gets over a block. It's kept alive by Hoffman, not a B runner. LaPointe with a tip over the net. It's kept alive by Contras. Weiner hits it through a block. It goes out of bounds off of the Comets. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Weiner will check out, and checking in for her first action today, Katarina Blazetic. The 5'7" freshman setter from DeLand, Florida, checks in to go on serve. It's received by LaPointe, up to Hoffman, over to Smith. Now Blazetic keeps it alive to Gardner. Rueda has a shot blocked. It goes out of bounds off of the Comets. Point for the Yellow Jackets. Blazetic stays on serve. It's received by Recker. Over to LaPointe, sent over on a free ball by B runner. Blazetic sets it up for Rueda, has it blocked down off of Lauren Gardner. It goes out of bounds. It's a point for the Comets. Perry Furness will check in. She'll replace Sydney LaPointe. Recker also takes a seat, and it'll be Furness going on serve for the Comets. It's received by Gardner, up to Blazetic, over to Luciano, and it is down for a Yellow Jacket point. She gets the kill and puts the Yellow Jackets on match point. Simonson checks in, and Paige Contras will check out. Sam Rueda goes on serve. Yellow Jackets lead at 24-15 here in the third set. It's received by Furness, up to Hoffman. Over to Rich. Rich hits it long, but it's kept alive by Gardner. Up to Blazetic. Simonson with a tip. Hoffman digs it out to keep it alive. Furness over to Rich, and it's down for the capital point. Good hit right there by Rich. She was hugging the outside line, and put it down for the point. Larissa Smith goes on serve for the Comets. It's received by Simonson. Up to Blazetic, over to Luciano. Kept alive by Furness. Up to Hoffman. Over to Bunyak, and it's blocked down for the point. That's match point for the Yellow Jackets. They close this one out today. 25-18, 25-18, 25-16. The Yellow Jackets end the season with a 13-11 record overall. They finished 4-5 in Ohio Athletic Conference play and 4-2 here in the friendly confines of Ursprung Gymnasium inside the Lou Higgins Center on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. The Comets fall to 8-18 on the season, 0-9 in Ohio Athletic Conference play, and 3-6 away from home. And again, that brings to an end the season for both squads. And congratulations again to all their accomplishments, the 7 seniors who played in this match tonight. Perry Furness for the Comets, as well as Sydney LaPointe, Kaylee Hamby, Reagan Willoughby, Braden Mast, and Aubrey Margraf, as well as the lone senior for the Yellow Jackets, Issa Luciano. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments in Ohio Athletic Conference play for both schools, and we wish you nothing but the best in the future. Once again, the Yellow Jackets close out the regular season with a straight sets win over the Capital Comets, 25-18, 25-18, 25-16. Thank you to the athletic communications departments for both universities for helping make this broadcast possible, and you, all the volleyball fans in Ohio Athletic Conference, for showing up in the gym today and also watching on the webcast. For everyone here at Baldwin Wallace University, my name is Matt Flor-Jancic saying make today better than yesterday and make tomorrow better than today. Have a great night, everybody.